This is the Louie T Network.
I'm ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Louie? Yeah.
Overtime! So we head to overtime.
Who else could it be? Me, your me, Louie T. Welcome to Thursday Night Football Overtime. San Francisco 49ers, love those uniforms, black on black, taking on the Los Angeles Rams in the mustard color unis. Little iffy, but we've seen them before. Nonetheless, NFC West family business. You know how the family do it. If these two teams say they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, well, that's family business. And what good family business we got tonight? Admit it. Admit it. You were wrong. You were wrong. You thought this was going to be garbage. I told y'all to stop doing that. Oh, the Rams and the 49ers. Look what they did on Thursday night. Stop your nonsense. I told you I was going to be glued because two of the most creative offensive minds in the league, I've said this numerous times. I've already told you this. You know how I feel. We're going to be in this game, so I was going to be glued. And I told you, my boy Sean McVay is going to represent. My boy Kyle Shanahan's. They're finally going to get it done at some point. They got to score a touchdown, right? I didn't anticipate 5 touchdowns, okay? I didn't anticipate that, okay? Not 39 points. But, nonetheless, damn, we got us a good football game tonight. A lot to break down, a lot to analyze here. Hey, Pierre, do you want to come back here? Boy, we missed Pierre Garçon. That's the last time I'm going to say it. I promise. Let me stop lying to y'all because I'm going to probably say it a couple more times this year. Damn, I miss Pierre Garçon in Washington. Boy, that guy gets me fired up, man. Damn, I miss Pierre. Boy, there's a lot to get to tonight. Before we get to the proceedings this evening, if you haven't already done so, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content in 2017 and beyond. Changing the game over here. Want you to help us do that by simply hitting the subscribe button and becoming a member of the Louie T Network. I'm also on Twitter. @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. Go ahead, give me a follow there. Follow or like the Facebook page In The Lab Room. I'm also on IG. Louie, it's with a Z, me, Louie T, on Instagram. So go ahead and follow me there. If you can donate to the channel, I've set up a PayPal account that is specifically geared towards accepting donations. The link is in the description of this and all videos moving forward. So if you are able to and you are gracious enough to bless me and this channel with a donation, I will definitely accept any donation, how big, how small. I will take them all. I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate you as viewers, and even if you can't donate, all I simply ask is that you continue to support the channel by watching, liking, and sharing these videos. With that being said, let's jump into this breakdown. Man, was this one hell of a football game to watch, and none of us, I'm included, even though I thought this had a chance to be a good game, I could not have foreshadowed 90 points total between the two teams. That I didn't see coming, okay? Now, I would have sat here and argued, or excuse me, 80 points. I can do math. So 80 points between the two teams. I couldn't have guessed that, all right? That I didn't see coming. However, I thought this had a chance to be a good football game. And I was splitting hairs as to where I wanted to go. I figured the Rams offensively would be better than the 49ers, and they were slightly, but not by much. The turnovers were raining down, the mistakes. You can tell these are two football teams that still have a long ways to go. The fact that they were playing each other gave them opportunities in this game, but if they were playing a good opposition, both of these teams get blown out if they were playing good teams because of the amount of mistakes made on both sides of the football. You can't have the type of mistakes that these two teams made in this ball game and expect to win on a week-to-week basis. But because they were playing each other, it happened to make for good television and an exceptional football game. We're going to start with the winners in this game, the Los Angeles Rams. They didn't do much wrong in this game on the offensive side of the football. A lot of the mistakes lie with the defense in this game. And it started fast and early for them. The very first play of the game, they almost get a pick six. Nikel Roby on the very first, or Roby Coleman on the first play of the game gets a pick. I think it's a pick six. He gets tackled, shoestring tackled, down to about the 3-yard line. And Todd Gurley doesn't waste any time punching it in on the first carry. And just like that, literally 30 seconds into the game, it's 7-0 Rams. And I said, wow, that's a pretty bad start if you're the 49ers. Can't get much worse than that other than that interception going all the way for a touchdown. But nonetheless, they were able to bounce back and that was the problem with the Rams in this game, is just every time you thought they had an opportunity to seize control of this football game, they do something stupid that would allow the 49ers to get back into this game, or they just give up a big play. Early in the game, after they have snatched every ounce of momentum out of the 49ers after that near pick six and the subsequent touchdown on the next play, and then the defense forces essentially a 3-and-out. Then Dum, and I don't know who it was a corner, I'm assuming, or a backup safety, whatever the case, he jumps off sides. The one thing I can't stand is in fourth and anything less than 5, and you get off sides, or you run into the kicker, something stupid like that. The only time I'm allowing my guys to rush hard is if it's 4th and 6 or longer. Because at that point, if you run into the kicker, it's only 5 yards, it's still 4th down, okay, it's fine. But if it's 4th and anything 5 or less, I'm telling my guys, back the hell up. I want the football, and I know that's safe football. Okay, that's cautious man football, and you don't win. Scared money don't make money. I tell you that all the time. But damn, that was a turning play early in this game, because his offsides penalty gave the 49ers back the football. And what did they do? They drove the football the length of the field after that penalty and got into the end zone and tied the game up at 7 when they would have been getting the football back. And as we saw all night long, and we did not know at that time that the Rams would have the kind of offensive night that they ended up having. But at that point in the game, with all the momentum on your side, the crowd is on their hands literally. Oh shit, here we go again. Another ass whooping coming our team's way after the start. You give them back the football, they drive the length of the field, it changes the dynamics of the game. So I just thought that the Rams had opportunities in this game to blow this thing open. That was the first of many that they failed to take advantage of. It's 7-7. But then they get the football, and what we would see from that offense was the ability to just move it down the field all night long, all night, all night long, all night. All night long, those boys was moving the football up and down the field. Jared Goff could do no wrong. My boy, Todd Gurley, he's an all true man, yeah, baby. Todd Gurley, don't you call him a girl. He's all man. He was having a beast mode type of performance. I was so happy for him at the end of the game. I thought my man was going to fall short of 100. Like, damn, can we get Todd a hundo, please? Can we get him a hundo? The 49ers said, we got you, bro. We got you. Hell, we done already gave you 3 touchdowns, damn near 5. You think we're going to let you fall short of a hundo? They said, we got you, man. Pipe down. And they let him bust off that big run on that last one to give him about $110 in this game. Good for him, man. He worked hard tonight. He deserved to get over $1 and some change. And he finally got it. And he was outstanding in this game. Much like he was last week versus the Redskins, breaking tackles, getting yards after contact. He still has to hold on to the rock. He did fumble again tonight, although the Rams were able to recover. Last week, he fumbled twice. They lost one of those fumbles last week. And so he's got to make sure that he is able to hold on to the rock and secure the football moving forward. But he was outstanding. Look at y'all. You got a #1 wide receiver finally. Look at the Rams. Look at your organization going out, making some shrewd moves. Hey, Buffalo. What them receivers looking like, though? What y'all got over there, man? Because I see both your starters from last year over here balling, both over a bucket some change in this game. And I'm watching you over there in Buffalo and you struggling to score 3 points. With Zay Jones, who I actually like. I'm not going to sit here and kill Zay. Had a chance at a game winner. Didn't come up with it. Wasn't the best throw. Still need to catch the goddamn football. And who's the other guy? Jordan Matthews. Ugh. Don't have a number one in sight in Buffalo. Rams got a number one receiver. Y'all go, Los Angeles. Look at y'all getting number one receivers. Hell, you got a 1, 2, 3, and about 2, 3 tight ends that can start on some other teams in the league. So you got an abundance of weapons in Los Angeles for golf. He showcased them all with the exception of Gerald Everett. Tonight, everybody got involved, especially the 2 guys you got in free agency, or one via trade, one in free agency, and Robert Woods, who went over 100 yards tonight. Big game for him. Took some tough shots, got up, continued to make plays, and of course, Samuel Watkins. Y'all give it up for Mr. Sammy Watkins. Another big game for him. I thought he was starting to really get comfortable last week versus Washington. Turns around and doubles what he put in last week, this week, and a hell of a catch over the shoulder. I mean, he was outstanding. The touchdown where he fought through a couple of defenders, 2 touchdown grabs on the day. I thought Samuel Watkins was outstanding in this game. So you're starting to see the makings of what this Rams offense can be when all of these guys are healthy and fully functioning at the highest level possible. And it all starts with Sean McVay. We'll talk about him later because you know I love to talk about Sean Mack. So we'll talk about my boy Wonder a little bit later on. But that offense could not be stopped on the day. And so they went right down the field. They scored a touchdown after surrendering the touchdown to the 49ers. Had another opportunity. They get the stop defensively. They look like they're about to run away with this game. It's 17-7. They've got their hands on this game firmly in a position where they can strangle the 49ers. And Tavon Austin says, hey, man, we ain't blowing nobody out tonight, man. No. Fumble. Muffs the damn punt. 49ers get it. And what do you know? They're right back in the goddamn game. They still had to settle for a field goal on that possession. But again, you had a chance to step on their larynx, crush the windpipe. And you said, nah, man, we not killers. We don't operate like that. That's not how we're built. And so they stayed within striking distance at 17-10. And so they had opportunities in this game to run away, and they just simply wouldn't do it. Hell, the touchdown right before the half. You get a touchdown to Gurley as he gets outside. Beautiful cut to get to the outside, extend the football, extendo clip, bang, 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 touchdown. You're thinking, okay, this game might be starting to go where they needed to go to run away from this 49ers team. And then your kicker kicks it out of bounds. And they got great field position. Luckily enough for you, the defense was able to respond and keep the score right where it was. I believe at that point, you're looking at a 24-13 game, if I'm not mistaken, at that point. So you tried to give away a field goal right before the half. Luckily enough, again, the defense was able to respond. They weren't able to do that a lot of times in the second half, but they were able to keep it at 24-13. Sizable lead. You're up 11. You feel good about your performance in the first half. Jared Goff has been sparkling thus far. So has Todd Gurley. And then you see some of the semblance of this offense starting to come together. Robert Woods, Samuel Watkins, all of the guys, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, all of these guys contributing in the first half. Much of the same in the second half. And so you come out with a beautiful opening drive to start the second half. Move it down the field, and you're thinking to yourself, if they get in the end zone here, make it 31-13, this game is over. And they get all the way down to the 1-yard line, and they can't get in. You keep on knocking, but you can't come in. You keep on knocking, but you can't come in. And I don't know what else to say. What more can I say? You got to get in the damn end zone. You got to put this damn game away. First damn snap. First and goal from the 1, your center, who's in the game because your normal center goes down with a groin injury. And so this guy has to come in. Austin Blythe out of Iowa. False start. Damn. Just like that, you're back to the 6-yard line. You don't get in. 3 plays later, you got to settle for a field goal. Again, slightly leaving the door ajar. The door is slightly ajar. You could have slammed it shut at 31-13. No, you leave the damn door slightly ajar. Kick the football off. The first play, the 49ers have the ball. Aaron Donald gets loose. I do not agree with this call. I thought it was a clean shot on Billy Ho. Okay? He throws a dime on the sideline to Pierre Garçon. Hey, Pierre, do you want to come back here? You sure? All right. It's all good, man. Still love you. Beautiful toe drag swag on the sideline. Gets the catch. They have to go to the replay to overturn it, but they make the right call. They overturn it, and they tack on a bogus 15 yards. Just like that, the ball's in Ram territory, and when you know it, they drive it down the field. They score a touchdown. They're back in this game at 27-20, just like that. You had a chance to put them away. You did it. And so now it's back on the offense. And what does Jared Goff and his crew do? Take it right back down the damn field and score it again. And this one looks like it's about to get out of control. This one looks like it's about to get out of hand, okay? And at that point, I said, okay, you got him. Get a stop, defense. Get a stop. And they don't. They give up a deep ball just when you thought it was safe. They give up a deep ball to of all people, Goodwin, who couldn't catch a cold the first 2 weeks. Or as my ex-high school coach used to say, couldn't catch claps in a whorehouse. Damn, in double coverage with your best corner right there. Somebody, anybody, do something. Not that. Not let the smallest dude on the field go up, outleap you, and take the football from you. Cookies. Give me that. You don't know what to do with that, shorty. Let me get that for you. Damn. One of y'all couldn't at least deflect the football? No. So now they're back in striking distance, and they take it right into the end zone, and just like that, except Robbie, good as gold, not good as gold this time, misses the damn extra point, which would come back to haunt this team later. Of course, we'll talk about it when we get there. But now it's 34-26. Damn, it's back on the offense to do it again. The offense said, we did it again. If we did it once, if we did it twice, if we did it 3 times, we can do it 6 times. Let's go down and get us another damn touchdown. Why the hell not? We've done it all night long. And they take it right down the damn. Where the hell is the 49ers defense at? Wow. I was shocked. That was probably the biggest shock to me. I knew the Rams offensively could be explosive and dynamic. Okay? You know how I feel about Sean McVay, so I knew that was possible, but this wasn't the same team I watched hold Seattle to 9 points or what was it, 12 points in that game that they lost 12-9. But then again, Seattle offense stinks. So maybe I was watching a bad offense in Seattle be stifled by an okay 49ers defense. A short week, it's tough to prepare. You got some guys out with injury, and then more guys went out throughout the course of the game. Jaworski, Tart. You were getting torched before Tart left the game anyway, so no excuses. In any event, they move it right down the field. They get back in the end zone again, and wouldn't you know it, it's now 41-26 with 8 minutes left. This game's done. It's over. Or is it? Not so fast, my friends, as a wise man always tells me. Not so fast, my friends. Another deep ball. And Billy Ho, look, say what you want about Billy Ho. When he's with Kyle Shanahan, the man knows how to go. I done told you about Billy Ho. He's a serviceable NFL quarterback, and when he gets with Kyle Shanahan, and I've told you this before, what the great offensive minds in this league do is they take mediocre, make it good, take good, make it great, take great, make it legendary. I've told you this before. I stand by my statement. I stand by my story. Samson, I stand by my story. That hasn't changed. Kyle Shanahan is taking Billy Ho, a mediocre quarterback, and he's making him good. Now, they weren't good in the first 2 weeks, but you know why they weren't good in the first 2 weeks? They played against arguably 2 of the best defenses in the entire league, in the Carolina Panthers And the Seattle Seahawks, what did you want the man to do? Okay? They're still limited on that side of football. Despite what you saw tonight, the 49ers are still limited on the offensive side of football. Okay? However, they made plays tonight. And my man Pierre, sure you don't want to come back here? All right. Goes and gets the deep ball. Man, was that a gorgeous catch. That ball literally, it looked like he had stickum on his hands because the second that ball hit his hands, it did not move. Like, you know how when a guy catches it, it's like a double catch sometimes, or he catches it, then he's got to kind of corral it and bring it in so that it doesn't move when he hits the ground. That shit stuck. Like he had goddamn glue on his hands. Bip! Like a force field. And it didn't move at all. That's Pierre, man. I've seen it for the last 5 years. You ain't telling me nothing that I don't already know. And so, of course, after that, you already know what was coming next. You guessed it. Straight to the damn end zone. And just like that, we got ourselves a ball game, folks. They are right back in this thing at 33-41. And I'm saying to myself, there's no way. There's no way that Jared Goff and company aren't going to get the football back and just move it right down the field again and make them burn their timeouts. And then maybe they get the football back, but they get it back with like a minute 47 left and no timeouts. And they got to go the length of the field and get a 2-point conversion. They're not doing that. Ensuing kickoff. Oh, no. Pharaoh Cooper. What are you doing? Secure the rock. Ball comes flying out. Lord, what are you doing? I picked the Rams. What are you trying to do to me right now? Trying to get off to a good start, man. Stop your nonsense. And Aldrick Robinson, who dropped 19 passes and tried to get them picked off tonight, finally catches the damn ball on this fumble. Dives even. Secures the rock. 49ers in business. And you knew what was going to happen after that, man. You had to know. These boys are going to the end zone, man. Get in the damn end zone. And I said, this is what's going to hurt you right here. The fact that your kicker missed this extra point, it always happens this way. Remember the AFC Championship game 2 years ago when the Broncos won? And remember they lost the game because they had to go for 2 at the end because their damn field goal kicker, Steven Gostkowski, missed that extra point. It always comes back to bite you in the ass. Always comes back to bite you in the ass. And of course, you had to know. That missed extra point was going to loom large. And on that play, I said to myself, damn, if he just stays out on the out cut, instead of whipping it back on the whip route, instead of coming back in on the Z out, he would have had his ass. But he came back inside right to the defender who said, thanks, you just made my job. He was beat to that pylon, beaten. His ass was done. And they just happened to come back inside and they got lucky. They got lucky, but it gets picked off by Brockers as it's batted into the air, and that would be the deciding factor in this game. Obviously, though, there was an onside kick in there that the Rams didn't recover. Like, are you kidding me? Which allowed them to go down and tie this game up. Okay? Crazy. That onside kick gave them an opportunity to potentially take the lead in this game. They got lucky, though. And at this point now, I'm saying, wow, the defense has to be gassed. Defense has to be gassed. Because when you think about it, they gave up the deep ball in the subsequent touchdown to cut it to 8. They fumbled the ensuing kickoff, so they got to come right back on the field. They give up the touchdown, able to get the stop on the 2-point conversion. The 49ers then kick an onside kick, recover that. And now this defense is back on the field for the 3rd straight possession without a break. And now they're fighting for their lives to protect the 2-point lead. And what does the defense do? Protect the 2-point lead. Now, they got a benefit from a really shady call. I thought it was OPI. But at that point in the game, look, rules are rules. All right. I don't care what time of the game it is. This is not basketball. You don't swallow your whistle. If it's a foul, you call it. It was OPI. He did push off. He did extend, but they could have let that go, man. They could have let the referee could have turned a blind eye to that one, but I'll take it because if they didn't, it would have been a first down. They would have ended up getting in the field goal range. So I'll take it. You helped me get my win. But boy, you made me sweat for it. What a game. What a game. This Rams defense, you got to give them credit because, yeah, they gave up 39 points. And it's pretty hard to do to a team that had came into the game with 12 whole points to their name and not a single offensive touchdown. Hell, not a single touchdown, period, the entire season. So to give up 39, that's saying a lot. That's pretty bad. However, that defense was on the field a ton tonight. I bet you if you go look at time of possession, I guarantee you that the 49ers probably, and generally it doesn't work this way, but I guarantee you the 49ers win time of possession out. Granted, there are a lot of short field opportunities and some situations where the Rams were able to strike quick, but make no mistake about it. The 49ers was on the field a ton, especially in that second half. And while you would love the Rams to just get a stop, stop giving up deep balls, just get a stop. Damn. The Rams offense just kept scoring. You're like, all right, well, just take a while to score then. Damn, stop scoring in 6 plays and only taking 3 minutes and 37 seconds off the clock. Like, put a 13-play, 7-minute drive together so we can catch our damn breath. That's not what the Rams were doing tonight, man. It was bing, bang, boom. We in the end zone. We in the zone. Get in the zone. Rams zone. The Rams was in the end zone all night. I mean, they were killing these boys. Problem was, defense was getting crucified by the 49ers. Nonetheless, they get it done. And, man, what a fun game it was. I said I was going to talk about Sean McVay, so I'll do this now, and then we'll get to the 49ers. Man, Sean McVay, you know my affinity for McVay. And I've told Rams fan this since the offseason. When you made the hire, the first video I did after you made the hire, I told you, you are going to see vast improvements on your offense. He's going to make Jared Goff a good quarterback. And you're seeing why Jared Goff was the #1 pick in the draft. I thought he was outstanding again. For the second time in 3 weeks, Jared Goff was outstanding. He was outstanding in week 1. He was outstanding in this game. Only 6 incompletions the entire game. Almost threw for 300 yards. No mistakes. That's the biggie there. No turnovers. No giveaways. 3 touchdowns. The dude was razor sharp. The throw to Sammy Watkins over the outside shoulder in double coverage. Come on. Come on. Stop. Stop with your nonsense. The guy has it right now. He's hot. He's hot right now, and that's what a good coach can do for you. He can instill confidence in you where there was none. This was a guy last year that we looked at and we said, he's not a confident football player. He doesn't have it. Why was he selected #1 overall? We can't tell. Why? And I told you, if Jared Goff is any good, and you're going to find out this year, and I told you this beforehand, if Jared Goff's any good, you're going to find out this season because Sean McVay is going to get the best out of this dude. I guarantee it. Okay? I don't put my name and stamp of approval on many things. Okay? I'm not willing to do that. Unless I know what the hell I'm talking about. And I told you this man was going to come in and change the game in Los Angeles. What has he done? Helped the Rams put up the most points they've put up in a 3-game stretch to start the season in club history. Another 40 burger. First 2 out of 3 games, 40 burgers. How many 40 burgers you put up last year? I don't know. I'm not going to even sit here and ask Rams fans to try to conjure up all the memories of last year. I'm pretty sure it was probably 0. All right? Now, if you go back the year before, you might have had 1 or 2. But you had 2. Just think about this. You went from the lowest scoring points per game output of any team in the league last year at like a shade over 14 to scoring 40 twice in the first 3 games to scoring over 40 points in the first 2 out of 3 games. Now, granted, it was the Colts, who are horrible, and the 49ers, who, for all intents and purposes in this particular game, just couldn't stop you. I don't understand what happened because I expected this family business to go totally different than what it did. I thought it was going to be a close game. I thought it was going to be a competitive game, but I thought more along the lines of 24-20, more along the lines of 20-13 or something like that. Never in my wildest dreams could have even imagined 41-39. But look, the Sean McVay effect is real. And if you didn't believe me when I said it, if you didn't believe me after week 1 when I said, tell me the guy that you're looking at under center wearing the 16 jersey is the same guy that was wearing the 16 jersey last year. Okay, tell me that's the same guy. You can't. Because up here, he's a different dude. And who's responsible for that? The guy with the headset who's the youngest coach in NFL history. So, there's a reason Todd Gurley is back. It's no coincidence that now that you actually have a viable passing game, that your all-world running back has returned to form. It's not coincidence. It's the same reason Leonard Fournette is going to struggle in Jacksonville this year. Because nobody is dumb enough, if you're playing the Jaguars, to say, well, I'm just going to keep 7 in the box because I don't want to let Blake Bortles beat me. You got to be out your damn mind. I'm going to put 8, possibly 9 in the damn box and dare Blake Bortles to beat me. What do you think everyone was doing to the damn Rams last year? I'm going to put 8, 9 in the box if necessary, stop Todd Gurley, and make Jared Goff beat me. I dare you to do that. I triple dog dare you to do that this year. See if you won't get your ass lit up. And it's all because of Sean McVay. I'm not saying the Rams are going to score 40 again this season. They may never score 40 again this season. I'm not saying the Rams are going to win 10 games and make the playoffs. But what I am telling you is you're looking at a much improved football team. That's all I'm telling you. And I told you that this was going to happen. I don't know how far it's going to go this year. They're still a young team. He's still a first-year head coach. There's still a lot of growing pains that come along with being a rookie head coach in this league. But one thing's for sure, and Rams fans can tell you this already after just 3 games, this team is different. They're better, and it starts with Sean McVay. You've made some great moves in the offseason, though. I will give you that as well. Kudos to the front office for going out, Demoff and company going out and doing what they've done. All right? That's huge. You needed to go out. Les Snead, Demoff, all of those dudes for going out and doing what they had to do. Go get some offensive line help, which you've done. Solidified left tackle, solidified center. You're hoping he's okay because you need that in this league. You go out, you trade for Samuel Watkins. You go out, you sign Robert Woods. You go out, you draft Cooper Kupp. You go out, you draft Gerald Everett. All of a sudden now this offense looks way different, way better. Hell, you're to the point now where you don't even know what to do with Tavon Austin. I feel bad for Tavon. Showtime! Showtime went from being one of the most integral parts of this offense to, damn, can we get this man a touch? And I told you after week 1, and I know a lot of fans kind of dismissed this statement. Some of you didn't even realize I said it. You were so excited. You were jumping off the walls. You just scored 46 points. You didn't even hear me when I said, y'all don't know what to do with. Sean doesn't know what to do with. He's never had a player like this. He has no idea what to do with Tavon Austin. None. He has no clue. They got this man running 28 ghost jet sweeps a game. That's his sole purpose on this roster, is to run 29 ghost jet sweeps so that they can give it to him one time. One time. That one time when you're like, man, his ass ain't getting the ball. They're going to give it to him. And he almost scored. That's his only role on this team besides special teams. And he effed that up tonight. Twice. Almost fumbled it again. They got to figure out how to use Tavon Austin, man. At least throw the man a screen, something. He's dynamic. Get him a damn ball other than a jet sweep once a game. Got to stop that. But Sean doesn't know what to do with him. I told you that after week 1. Sean does not know what to do with that man. He needs to figure it out, though. But Aaron Donald and company got it done. This defense, for all of the talent that they have, still gives it up on the defensive side of football. I love Aaron Donald. I thought Mark Barron was your most impactful player tonight. Mark Barron made some plays. That tackle on the screen? Come on, man. He doesn't make that tackle. I'm not sure that Carlos Hyde isn't going to the crib. I mean, you literally blitzed. They let 4 of your defensive guys up the field. If Barron doesn't make, that's 5 Ram defenders past the play, can't get back in. You got 6 defenders, and he had a convoy of blockers in front of him. Mark Barron with the play of the game right there, okay? That to me was a game-saving tackle. They are in field goal range to beat you at that point. That tackle down by the goal line was stellar. Now, they ultimately ended up getting in anyway, but still, I thought Mark Barron was the most impactful player on the football field tonight. Ogletree is a guy that can run and make some things happen. Of course, Aaron Donald, never, ever trust a man with 2 first names. With the sack to seal the deal, he was outstanding tonight. He's starting to get his legs back. I thought last week he was tired. And that's what happens when you sit out. You saw it with Le'Veon Bell in week 1 with the Steelers. You don't have your legs when you don't play throughout the course of training camp and into the preseason. You're not in game shape. You're not ready to go. And he was tired last week. He played tonight, and I thought he was impactful tonight. So, of course, Tremaine Johnson, you got some talent on the defensive side of football. It's just about these guys getting on the same page and making plays. Like, can't give up 39 to the 49ers, man. I don't care if it's a short week. I don't care who's injured. You cannot give up 39 to the 49ers. No, it's not okay. But I know it's family business, and you know how the family do it. Speaking of which, let's get to the 49ers in this game, man. 49ers, hats off to the 49ers for making this a ball game, first of all. They could have folded the 10 up. After the pick 6 or the near pick 6 on the first play, they could have folded the 10 up after that. They could have went, here we go again. We about to get our ass whooped yet again. They could have folded up. The last time they went home this season, they got spanked by the Carolina Panthers 23-3. Dominated thoroughly. They could have said, oh, we about to get dominated. And they didn't. And it's a hats off to them. It's a testament to Kyle Shanahan and the fight that this team has, because they could have quit on a number of occasions. Okay? They were down by double digits at least 3 different times in this game. And they could have folded the 10. But they didn't. They stayed the course. Kyle Shanahan continued to stay aggressive. Down 15, 41-26, remained aggressive. Okay, down. What were they down? I think it was 14 at 34-20. Remained aggressive. He never took his foot off the gas pedal, despite being down big multiple times in this game. They were down 27 to 13. They were down 34-20. They were down 41-26, and they never quit. They could have given up, and they made big plays in this game. And guys that you didn't expect to make plays made plays. I expected Pierre Garçon. Pierre, do you want to come back here? No? All right. I expected him to make plays. That's what that guy does. All right. Kyle went and got him and made an emphasis to go and get him a beeline when free agency started to go get him for a reason, because that's what that guy does. But to see Trent Taylor, who I told you I really liked in the draft out of La Tech, who I told you is going to be a tremendous slot receiver in this league, make the plays that he made tonight. To see Marquise Goodwin finally step up, who had dropped some big passes earlier in the season, especially last week versus Seattle. To see him step up and make the plays he made in this game, outstanding. To get the contributions that you did out of Selleck and some of these other guys. Hyde was able to battle through injury early in this game and come back and be a guy that helped you claw back in this game. It was fun to watch. A lot of these guys contribute to this team hanging in there and giving it a run. Billy Ho, after the first interception, I thought he battled all night long, man. And hats off to Billy Ho for being mentally tough. And when you've been on as many teams, seen as many coordinators, seen as many coaches, been in as many situations as Billy Ho has, you remember the 5 interception game on national television in the playoffs, in the shutout loss at home versus the Chiefs a few years ago. This man is mentally tough. If he can get through that, a pick to start the game isn't going to have Billy Ho shaking in his boots. He's not going to waver off of that. And Kyle Shanahan, give him credit for not, I repeat, not changing the game plan after Billy Ho threw that first. Some offensive play callers, some offensive head coaches, they would have been shaking after that. They would have, oh, shit. What the? This man threw for 90 yards last week, and his first pass this week is an interception that almost goes to the crib on a really poor decision and an even worse throw. I'm going to have to dial it back. I'm going to have to scale it back a little bit. No, Kyle remained aggressive, and that kept this team in the football game, and you have to give them credit. Like I said, I told you the Bears and I told you the 49ers not going to win very many games this year, but they're going to be better football teams. The Browns too, okay? These are teams last year that won 2 games. The Browns won a game. They're going to win more than they won last year. This 49ers team is going to win 4 games or so this season, and they're going to be in a bunch more. Just like this game, just like last week. They're going to be in games. They're going to scare the hell out of some teams. And they're going to eventually win a game or two that they have no business winning. Bottom line is, they're going to be in ball games. Because this team has the right mentality. They've got talent on defense, although you did not see it tonight. And they did have some injuries. No excuses. Okay? When is this defensive line going to stand up and start taking over football games? They're talented. They're too talented up front to be allowing teams to have the amount of time that they have to throw the football. They're too talented up front to allow Todd Gurley to gash them the way he did tonight. They're just too talented on that side of the football for the amount of plays that were made tonight by the Rams offensively to be happening. I expected, the one thing that I went into this game expecting was that the 49ers were going to play sound defense and keep this ball game close. I thought this game was going to be close because of this 49ers defense, not despite this 49ers defense. That was the one thing that I thought I could count on going into this game. Well, I know one thing I thought from both sides. On the Rams side, they're going to come out and they're going to be sharp offensively. How sharp depends on how much this 49ers defense allows them to do. But they're not going to turn it over. They're not going to do anything stupid. And they're going to win the game because offensively they're going to do enough. But I thought the Niners were going to hold them down, much like the Redskins were able to do last week. I thought it was going to be a 24-20, 20-13 type of game, 23-17, one of those types of games. But the offense did enough to get it done. Never could have imagined that they were going to surrender 41 points. And what the 7-8 drives the Rams have tonight? And of those 7 or 8 drives, they scored on all but one, if I'm not mistaken. 2. I think they had a 3-and-out when the 49ers were able to get a stop late in the game. That was the only other time they got the football, and then they had a situation when they forced a punt in the first half. That was it. Other than that, they scored on every single drive they had the football tonight. Think about that. And then don't count the last drive of the game when Gurley got the last run to ice the game. Don't count that one. Throw that one out. They weren't looking to score there. They were already in scoring range. They weren't looking to score. Let's call it 8 drives. Taking the last one out of the equation. They scored on 6 drives tonight. Think about that for a second. Might have scored on 7. I'm trying to do the math in my head. 5 touchdowns and 2 field goals. That gets you to 41. That's 7 scoring possessions. Think about that. Out of 9 possessions, they scored 7 times, did the Rams. That's not the 49ers defense I was expecting to show up tonight. At all. At all. They got gashed at every level. Savvy, they got hit deep, they got hit intermediate, they got hit short, and they got killed in the run game. Jared Goff looked like Aaron Rodgers in this game. Throwing on the run, throwing across his body, throwing deep balls, dropping them in the bucket, breastfeeding Sammy Watkins 45 yards down the field. They couldn't stop him. And they were getting little to no pressure. They got to tighten up on the defense. It's too much talent on that side of the ball for them to be giving up the amount of plays and points that they gave up tonight. I was sick to my stomach and disgusted with what I saw from the 49ers defensively in this football game. Offensively, with the little talent that they have on that side of the football, I was impressed with what they were able. They squeezed every ounce of ability out of that rag on the offensive side, and that rag is still fully damp defensively, and they got nothing. Kyle Shanahan squeezed that rag and got every drop out of the offense. That bucket is full and the rag is dry. You go to the defense, that rag is damp. It is soaked, yet that bucket is dry. That's a problem for me because the most talented side of the football on that team is defense, yet they gave up 41 tonight and never once looked like they had any type of resistance. If you're going to win games, if you're going to win some games you have no business winning, your defense can't perform this way. If your offense scores 39 in San Francisco, you're not supposed to lose. You can't lose. You generated turnovers. You can't lose this game. The Rams let you hang around and gave you opportunities. They even let you recover an onside kick. You got to find a way to win this game. But right now, wins are escaping this 49ers team. You had a great opportunity last week. You let it slip through your fingers. You had a great opportunity tonight. You let it slip through your fingers yet again. 41-39, Rams get the win. Let's get to some of your comments. It was a hell of a football game. Can't wait to read your comments regarding this game. I thought it was an outstanding game, and you guys thought it was going to be a dud. So let's get to your comments, shall we? Let's go all the way back to the top and see what we got. All right. How could you not enjoy this game? Okay. I can't understand it. This is like some great content on YouTube and someone comes in and just dislikes the video for no reason. Why? You can't thumbs down this game. You may not have liked the two teams playing in it. You could argue that it was sloppy at times. It still made for entertaining football. Cloud says, just joined in on the picks and I picked the team to win. Loss. It happens, man. This easily could have went the 49ers way. I mean, hell, it almost did. So, I mean, this was a tough one. Pepe, the YouTuber, says, damn, Rams almost made me go 0-1. I felt the same way, Pepe. I said the same thing. I'm like, if y'all blow this, boy, I was going to be pissed. I was going to come up here and rant probably had they lost this game. Blackbird Blitz says, oh, my God. Garbage teams playing garbage is still garbage. Know how good it smells to you. Stop, B3. Stop. Stop your nonsense, man. Just enjoy it for what it was. It was Rams and Niners. Did you expect 41-39? No. You expected like what we got last week. You expected 13-9. And you got 41-39. Stop. Stop. When they finally give you something to digest and really feel like, man, I just ate my belly full. That meal was delicious. Now I'm ready to relax, kick back, and chill. You still complaining. You want to go straight to the bathroom and take a dump and have it all come out. Relax, man. Enjoy that meal. That was a great meal prepared by two teams. We didn't expect to prepare a great meal. We thought these chefs were going to be garbage. Okay? We thought that this food was going to be horrible and we would never come back to this restaurant again. Instead, we just had a 5-star meal. I am full. I feel great. I'll come back and eat here again. Stop complaining about the food, man. It's great stuff. These chefs prepared great meals. Enjoy it. Damn, what more you want, B3? God damn. Can't please everybody, I guess. Worst ever says, highest scoring Thursday night football game since 06. And you would have never thought it would have been these two teams. That's why you got to love the National Football League. Cloud says, Gurley is a beast. They need to get him an O-line. I thought the O-line did an adequate job. They're fixing the O-line. Both of their tackles are quality tackles now. I've always liked Rob Havenstein. You go out and you get Andrew Whitworth, one of the best left tackles in football. The Cincinnati Bengals were stupid to let him walk. You see the trouble that they're having protecting their quarterback now that they let one of their best assets walk. And so this offensive line is much improved, which is partly to attribute to the ascension of Goff along with McVay and all the talent around Goff now. They were lacking in that department last year. And this offensive line, and then Gurley's ascension also can be directly attributed to that offensive line and the way that they're playing. The offensive line is fine, and that's why you're seeing Gurley start to play better. I mean, the man he's an all-purpose machine. He killed the Redskins in the air and on the ground last week, had a touchdown in both the air and the ground against the Redskins, turned around and did the same thing in this game, but scored an additional touchdown for 3, went over 100 yards this week, barely missed it last week, and still had a number of receiving yards in this game. He's an all-purpose monster, and he continues to show why he's one of the better backs in this league when he has the weapons around him to help him flourish. He didn't have that last year. Ouija HTTR says, I'm happy for McVay. You can't be anything but if you're a Redskins fan, man. I'm smiling like a proud papa whose only son finally made it, man. I'm going to continue to follow McVay. I'm rooting for him. I'll be one of his biggest non-Rams fans because the guy was sensational with us. He's given us something that we haven't had in Washington, which is a credible offense. We've had a winning season 2 straight years in a row, despite missing the playoffs last year and going 8-7-1. It still was a winning season. The first time we've done that since the 90s in Washington. So I have nothing but admiration and respect for Sean McVay, and I wish him nothing but the best. And I'll be rooting for him every step of the way, as most Redskins fans should be. The Cubone says, what a game. Yes, Cubone. It was absolutely fun to watch. You probably were sweating in the waning moments, but your team hung on to a game that they deserved to win, especially from the offensive side of things. Ouija HCTR says, the first battle of the X-Skins OCs. Yep, and the first of many. And these are going to be fun football games, as you can see. Both of these guys are phenomenal at what they do, and you're seeing proof of that tonight. BK Soldier 2010 says, 13-4. I don't even know what that means. Mondraw says, seeing Whitworth and Staley made me wonder if there are any left tackles playing at a high level that weren't selected high in the draft. You really need a first-round pick to get a decent left tackle. Not always true. The Saints had a good one in Teron Armstead. He's just never healthy, but they got him in the 3rd round out of Arkansas Pine Bluff. So it can happen. It's rare, but you're right. I sat down and I had that same conversation with myself about 2 weeks ago because I kept saying, why are the Seahawks so bad on the offensive? Why can't they find a real left tackle? And then I thought to myself, they're never picking in the top 15 of the draft. And so when you're good, it's to your detriment sometimes because you either got to be really shrewd with the moves you make in terms of who you draft, or you've got to go up and get a guy that you want, or you got to go and get somebody in free agency. And it's just tough because when you're drafting 27, 29, 31st every year, like the Seahawks are, because they're in the playoffs and they're going deep into the playoffs, usually to at least the divisional round every year, you're picking in the mid to late 20s. You win the Super Bowl like they did back in 2015 or 13. You're drafting 32nd. You can't get a left tackle that's elite because, you know, that's one of those positions, much like quarterback, they go fast, man. They go like hotcakes. You know, as soon as they start allowing you to turn in cards with players' names on it, if it's a highly regarded tackle draft class, you'll see 6 go in the first 10 picks. That year that Jake Matthews, Taylor Lewan, and all those guys, how many tackles came off the board in the first 15 picks in that draft? I think it was 4 in the top 10 picks and like 6 in the top 15. Like, you got to go for yours if you want one. They don't last long. And so I think you're on to something there. And I actually thought about that to myself last week or 2 weeks ago. Cloud says, by the way, did you get my picks? I did them on Wednesday. I'm not sure. I to be honest with you, I looked just to see who sent picks, but I didn't like analyze to see who sent picks. So I'll have to check and see. If you put them, just know this. If you put them where they belong, they're there. They don't just disappear into thin air. If you put them where they belong, the only time I miss them sometimes is if they go to spam, which I don't know why it does that sometimes, but for the most part, if you put them where they belong, I got them. Hawk says, keep the hate out of, I see y'all been acting up the last couple of days. Yesterday we had somebody acting up, going rogue and just being an ass. I don't know what's going on. I don't read all the comments, obviously. So y'all behave yourselves. Caleb Hazard says, do you think Jared Goff's development is on schedule? I've been pretty impressed with him. Yeah. I mean, year one, you struggle. And then if you look at the environment that was around him last year, it would have probably been impossible for any young quarterback to thrive in that environment. I mean, you had a coach situation that was toxic with Jeff Fisher, keeping Eric Dickerson off the sideline. He's a legend in Los Angeles. What are you doing? Like, Just too much going on. Jeff Fisher, he's a clown. And that was an S show in Los Angeles. And I'm glad that he got shown the door. And they had to clean up some things. They didn't have enough talent around him. The offensive line was a joke. And so you clean up all those things. You fix the talent around them. You repair the offensive line. And all of a sudden, look at Jared Goff in year number 2. They always say, and I don't always believe this, but they always say the biggest leap for a quarterback or any young player is supposed to be between years 1 and 2. That sophomore year, they're supposed to be able to now adjust and adapt. They should have already gotten adjusted to the speed of the game, the physicality, all of the things that is of a culture shock to them moving up from the collegiate ranks to the NFL. You're supposed to be able to now not think as much and just go out and play. And you're not overthinking things. And the game is supposed to slow down. And so I think you're seeing that with Goff. And it doesn't hurt that he's got a tremendous offensive mind leading the way and helping him understand what NFL defenses are trying to do to him and making the right decision and going where he's supposed to go with the football. So, yeah, his development is right on schedule, and he looks impressive, just like you said. Vincent Coe says, "Hey, Pierre, do you want to come out here? Hey, you want to come home, man? Hey, Pierre, do you want to come back here? You sure? All right." Had to ask anyway. Caleb Hazard also says, "How you feeling about this week's games? This week feels a lot harder to pick than last week's. I thought last week's games were tough. So, and it ended up being a soft week for everybody. So, as I say last week, I don't like these picks. I don't like these games. They turned out to be cupcake. I said the same thing yesterday, and they might turn out to be cupcake again. Who knows? We'll see." Mondraw says, "This comment probably got erased, but man, you surely miss Pierre or Garcon." I do, man. I keep trying to convince myself we're fine. We don't need him. He was the one I want. He's the one that got away. I was fine with D-Jax exiting stage left. I was like, hey, it's been fun. It's been real, man. Really appreciate what you brought to the table. Always fun to score on one play. And, that's nice. But we're not a one-play score, big strike, quick strike offense. We're a methodically drive it down the field, 8-play, 10-play, 12-play, score a touchdown offense. And for that kind of offense to succeed, you need tough guys. You need dudes that's going to get it done on 3rd and 5 with a defender draped all over him and still find a way to get the extra yard. On 3rd and 8, a guy that comes back, catches it a yard short of the sticks, but fights his way for that extra yard in the first down. Like you saw tonight, 3rd and 12, he catches an 11-yard pass, shreds a defender, and gets the extra 2 yards and picks up a first down. That's Pierre in a nutshell. So, yeah, it is what it is. Mondraw says, yo, Louie T be like, yo, Pierre, do you want to come out here? Come on, man. Just come on home, man. We miss you. Dark Sealer 1995 says, the Rams defense was the biggest disappointment of the night. You let Brian Hoyer have his way with you all night. Maybe that 4-3 scheme was a bad idea. I think the 49ers defense was actually the biggest disappointment tonight. You could argue that the Rams were the biggest disappointment because, like you just said, this was a 49ers offense that hadn't scored a touchdown all season long, and you give up 39. I just felt like they were on the field and put in some bad spots tonight because of how effective and you don't hear this often, but because of how effective this offense was. No excuses. If you're a good defense, whether you're on the field because your offense keeps scoring, which is what you want if you're a defense, or your special teams coughs it up, which they did twice tonight, not once, twice their special teams put them in compromising situations. You got to find a way to get a stop. And their special teams was horrible tonight. 2 fumbles, and they gave up an onside kick, resulting in the defense having to come back on the field in short field, sudden change situations. And I thought the defense handled themselves well. 2 of those situations, they gave up a field goal on one when they should have given up a touchdown. And on the other one, they gave up nothing and secured the victory. So you could say that the defense was a huge disappointment. Look, you give up 39 points to Billy Ho and that offense, yeah, that's a disappointing night. But they were also put in some bad spots. I feel like the 49ers defense was the biggest disappointment because they've got a ton of talent. That's where they're supposed to hang their hat right now until the offense catches up. And to give up the amount of drives, they gave up a ton of drives. Like, these weren't short fields and a bunch of turnovers and mistakes by the 49ers that allowed the Rams to have short fields and 6 plays, 39 yards and a touchdown. These were the length of the field, 6 play, 8 play, 10 play, 6 play, 5 play, 4 play, 6 play. But they're going 60, 70, 80, 60, 70, 80-yard drives. Like, they're moving the length of the field. And I was disappointed in the 49, but you can be disappointed in both of these defenses. When you give up 41 and 39 points respectively as defenses, both of them were disappointing tonight. Vincent Cole says, I'm now 1-0 thanks to Los Angeles fumbles. They got it done tonight. I just saw a 49ers fan that said that this was one of the most hurtful losses in a while. This one was tough. This one was tough to take if you're a 49ers fan just because of all the opportunities you had in this game. That's rough. Dark Fears Fire Gaming says, the Rams switched from a 43 to a 3-4 defense. Do you think it made a difference? LOL. Well, what you got to realize is, and a lot of people make this mistake when talking 3-4 versus 4-3, is that a lot of times you're not even in your base defense. All right. They might have been in the 3-4 30% of the time tonight. Most teams in this league are going to spread you out. They're putting 3 receivers on the field. They're putting 2 tight ends, and one of them is splitting out. I mean, you're usually in a situation where your personnel from the offensive side of things dictates that you're not even in your base. You're in nickel. You're in some form of a sub package to where you're going to have 4 defensive linemen down anyway. You're going to have 4 down linemen anyhow. So I guarantee you, if you would go back and look at the actual snap counts for the guys that play in the 3-4 versus the 4-3 and their base, you'll see how many times they were literally in 3-4 tonight. They probably weren't in 3-4 very many times, but we'll see. So my man B.E. said that it's basically an even time of possession tonight. And I find that odd that the time of possession was that close. But when you think about it, the Rams scored so quickly so many times. So there were some drives in there where they ate up some clock. But the Niners just seemed like they dominated the ball. But I'm surprised that there wasn't a bigger discrepancy there. It was pretty even when you look at it and you look at the score, and that kind of tells the story anyway. So I thought the 49ers would have possessed it a little bit longer, but the fact that it's only a mere 30 seconds we're talking about difference between, the Rams having it about 35 seconds less than the Rams and the 49ers in this game, that's stunning to me, but it shouldn't surprise me. You look at the score, 41-39, pretty even there. Time of possession usually is pretty even when you see it like that on the scoreboard as well. Let's get to the rest of these comments. Caleb Hazard says, I never thought Hoyer should have went for a more manageable 4th down at the end instead of going for the 1st and on the 3rd and 20. Yeah, I mean, I think that was the play, if my memory serves me correctly, and I'm trying to recollect, where he tried to throw the in cut, and he threw it slightly behind the receiver. It was almost picked off by Tremaine Johnson. I guess he could have tried to get half, knowing that it was 4 down territory, and you had 2 downs to get 20 yards. I thought that the opportunity was there if he makes a better throw. Looked like the receiver won to the inside, and he threw it slightly behind him. Just a miscommunication between he and the receiver. But, yeah, he could have easily just tried to take what the defense was giving him, tried to get 10 or 12 and make it a more manageable 4th down and 8 or so is what you're looking to do there. But, I mean, they almost got about 16, possibly 18 if he makes a better throw there. But in any event, wasn't in the cards tonight. Darth Vader says, trash teams got to play each other, LOL. What do you expect? Somebody got to win. Surprised it didn't go to overtime. It would have went to overtime had Robbie Gould not missed that extra point. So it's crazy. Worst ever says, does this make you feel good about the Skins beating L.A.? Look, you're never going to ever make me feel bad about a win. Ever. Never, ever, ever. Okay? Sometimes as a fan, you are upset because you think, and this is what I learned over the years with my particular team. I can't speak for anybody else's team, but me being a Redskins fan, I've been preconditioned to certain things over the years. And for some reason, as Redskins fans, we have been led to believe that our team is better than what it is. This used to go on a lot back in the day. I have since learned my lesson. You know, there was once upon a time, I remember one time, we beat the Bears 7-6 when Joe Gibbs first came back. And there was a time we beat the Rams 13-9 in a game. And I want to say it might have been like with Jim Zorn, we beat the Rams like 13-9. And I left that game feeling sick to my stomach, like we had just lost. Why did I feel that way? Because we're a much better team. Look at me on my pedestal, on my high horse, looking down my nose at the Rams. Because we're better than the Rams and we should have blown them out. Who the hell are you? You the damn Washington Redskins. When the last time you won anything of note? Yet you looking down your nose at the Rams? How dare you? Man, you better fix your face and get your mind right. You just won a damn game in the NFL. You know how hard it is to win a game? And you were complaining because it wasn't pretty? First of all, if the Patriots almost lose to the Browns, which they've done in the past, seems like the Browns always play them tough. Then as a Patriots fan, you can be upset about that. You know why? You've won 5 Super Bowls. Or is it 6? I always lose track. It's 5, right? It's 5, right? 6, I think. Damn, when you've won too many Super Bowls where I can't keep count no more, yeah, you could be upset when you beat a team you think you're supposed to blow out and you barely squeak by. You're allowed to get upset. You're allowed to be dismayed at what you saw. When your team hasn't won a Super Bowl since January of 1992, you don't have a right to look down your nose at anybody, nor do you have any right to turn your nose up at a victory. So what I've learned over the years is I take every single victory I can get, and trust me, we were 0-1 with a shot at 0-2. Staring at 0-2 with primetime games against the Raiders and the Chiefs coming up. Boy, you better believe I was thankful for my W on Sunday. Damn, I was relieved. So, watching this, all it did was reconfirm last week that our defense is better. That's the only takeaway that I got from that game was that, hey, we went on the road and we stopped a Rams team from scoring north of 20 that scored 46 and now 41 in 2 out of their first 3 games. We're the team in the middle that held them to 20. I feel good about that. Is our defense great? Hell no. Is it better? You betcha. And this game confirmed that for me. But I don't look any different about the win or the way we got it. I'm just happy we won. Period. Dark Sailor 1995 says, do you think McVay needs to be more involved in the defense? He was sitting on a cooler, not even paying attention to the defense when it was on the field. No, I don't. I think he's doing it the right way. A lot of times when a first-time head coach comes in, he is overwhelmed by the amount of responsibilities that he has. The only thing I can say that I want to see from McVay, and right now he's so concentrated on offensive stuff, figuring out, all right, how do we want to attack them the next time we hit the field? All right, how do we want to go about this? Which I'm fine with. You still need to be in tune to what's going on. What if you need to challenge something? Are you giving Wade Phillips the authority to challenge? No, you're not. So you do need to know what's going on. You do need to know what is going on in the game. Do I need to spend the time out right now to get my offense back on the field? Do I need to throw the challenge flag? These are things that, as a head coach, you need to have input in. But I don't want him. He's got a guy in Wade Phillips who's been a head coach multiple times over, who knows how this thing works. You delegate defense to him. You say, hey, Wade, take care of that. I don't even want to deal with that. I'm going to focus on the offense. You focus on the defense. We're going to make this thing work. So I don't have a problem with him doing what he's doing. But I do want him to be a little bit more in tune to what's going on. But I don't have a problem with him sitting on the cooler. As long as he knows what's going on in the game. I don't have a problem with him sitting on the cooler and kind of figuring out how we're going to score again on our next possession so that we can score 7 times in 9 possessions. Nah, I don't have a problem with him sitting on the cooler and drawing up the next possession that's going to help his team score yet another touchdown en route to 41 points. Spidey92 says, if the Rams keep scoring like this, they'll keep bringing back those memories of Warner, Falk, Isaac Bruce, greatest show on turf era, LOL. They're not going to keep scoring like this season. They're going to play better defenses. It's going to become tougher. But it's fun. I know if you're a Rams fan out there, this has to be fun. I remember after week 1, had a number of Rams fans leave in the comment of the video that I broke down. He was like, man, this is fun. I don't know how long it's going to last, but this is fun. It's always fun when your team puts up 40, man. And for those particular fans that have been there long enough to know what it was like when the greatest show on turf was doing what they did, yeah, it does bring back some fond memories of what that team was like. Dark Sealer 1995 says, what do you do with Tavon Austin? You're paying him a lot of money, and he isn't worth it, and he isn't a number 1 or number 2 wide receiver. Now, see, they paid him the money based on the way the roster was set up last year. It was a bad roster, and he was the best of what they had. So I don't mind you paying him because he can be dynamic as a special teams returner. And if utilized correctly, you got to remember, Tavon Austin had like 60 or 70 catches last year. Now, granted, I guarantee you of those 60 or 70 catches, if it's 60, 40 of them, if it's 70, 50 of them were 5 yards and in to the line of scrimmage. That being said, he's so dynamic, though, he can still hurt you. You know, catching the football, bubble screen, a slant, a hitch, you know, a shovel pass. They just got to find more creative ways instead of just a bunch of ghost jet sweeps and then finally giving it to him once. Got to find more ways to get him the football, man. Mondraw says, against all the hate these defenses may receive, I find amazing how a year ago both teams were hot garbage on offense. Hell, they couldn't rush with Todd Gurley, and now they put up 39 plus. Exactly. I mean, both these teams have come a long way, and it starts with new management in San Francisco with Lynch and Shanahan, and Shanahan is your head coach and your offensive play caller. And on the Rams side of things, it starts with the organization having a philosophy change. You come in, you bring in new players, you kind of turn around this roster. Same thing the 49ers are in the midst of doing. And also you bring in Sean McVay, and don't understate the importance of bringing in Wade Phillips on the defensive side of the football as well. Amandraw says, all props go to McVay and Shanahan, of course. I thought those two did a phenomenal job tonight, and I'll see them continuing to grow as head coaches. We know what they are as play callers and offensive minds in this league. I want to see them grow as head coaches, and I think that'll happen over time. Dark Sealer 1995 says, I wasn't big on Solomon Thomas when the 49ers drafted him, and he was invisible tonight. He doesn't get off blocks at all and got swallowed up every play. I think it's just hard for the young guys to come in and have immediate impacts. When you play in the college game as an undersized lineman, you can dominate. When you come to the NFL, it's not as easy. I'm watching Jonathan Allen have some of the same issues in Washington as an undersized defensive lineman. You know, Solomon Thomas was about 275 at Stanford. Dominate. Because you can do that in college. Jonathan Allen was like a solid 285. Dominate at Alabama because you can do that in college. And plus you got a bunch of dominant players around you. You turn around and you ask that same 280, 285-pound defensive lineman to stand up against these 315, 20-pound behemoths. And all of a sudden they're getting washed on plays. And it's not as easy. They'll adjust. I think Solomon Thomas is going to be just fine. I think Jonathan Allen is going to be just fine. They'll adjust. They'll be fine. The Mister says, Lou, be honest. Don't you get the feeling the Rams will catch Seattle and slip up at least one of those matches? They always do. The Rams, even when they weren't good, the Rams would beat Seattle. One year they swept them. think 2 years ago they swept the Rams or the Seahawks. Went to Seattle and beat them. Beat them the first game of the season. I think Pete Carroll might have went for an onside kick in overtime, lost that game. They lose in Seattle. They swept them boys one year. They always they have Russell Wilson's number because they're one of the few teams that could keep Russell Wilson in the pocket, and when he tried to run, they would chase his ass down with all that athleticism they have on defense. Dark Silver 1995 says, what do you think the problem is with the 49ers defense? Is it the coordinator or is it the players missing assignments? It's probably more the players missing assignments. I mean, you saw an example. 3rd and 11. They drop way too far. You're supposed to drop to the sticks, stay at the sticks, maybe a little bit beyond the sticks, but rally up and make a tackle. That's why 3rd and long is important, because you drop into a soft zone coverage. You allow them, you force them to take the check down underneath, and then you rally up. That's what the good teams in this league do. And you saw what they did on 3rd down. They allowed Todd Gurley to catch the football at 6 yards. There was nobody in sight, and he didn't get touched until he had 12 yards in the 1st down. That's what bad defenses do. They got talent, but they're not playing smart football right now. Smart assignment football, and you get beat that way. BK Soldier 2010 says, you ready for 9:30 football? Absolutely. Always love getting a game out of the way early. The Mister says, you may have covered this already, but do you think Sean McVay is what Jared Goff was missing? Yep. I did already cover that, and I've said it numerous times on numerous programs. He's exactly what the game was missing in Los Angeles with Jared Goff. And now that he's there, Goff is a much better quarterback, and you're seeing that right now. Worst Ever says, how inept is the Seahawks offense? LOL, Packers and 49ers D got lit up. See, I already told you the Seahawks offense scares me. I am literally scared, which is why I did not pick them this week. They'll probably go on the road and score 27 and win, but I'm not messing around with them. Their offense scares me right now. Dark Siddler 1995 says the 49ers' #1 cornerback was beat up all night. There should have been an adjustment there. I actually like their corners. They're young, they're long, they're athletic. They'll be fine. It just wasn't their night tonight. And you can't blame the corners. Damn, can they get some pressure? No corner, I don't give a damn how good you are. No corner is built to survive 5-6 seconds of the quarterback holding on to the football and going through reads at the rate that Jared Goff was allowed to do tonight. There was zero pressure on him other than when they blitzed. If they didn't blitz, they didn't get pressure on Goff tonight, and that's unacceptable. So, in any event, that's going to do it for your man Louie T here on Thursday Night Football Overtime. We got ourselves a thriller. Very entertaining game. Rams come away with the win 41-39. Who knew? Who saw it coming? I damn sure didn't. You hell sure did not. And so we got ourselves a hell of a football game on a Thursday night when we were expecting a dud. I'll take it. Nice start to the weekend. Let's see if we'll get more good football as the weekend progresses in college and in the National Football League. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here on the Louie T Network. Continue to support the channel. Continue to watch, like, subscribe, share, and if you can, donate to the Louie T Network. The link is in the description below. I thank each and every single one of you for tuning in. I will see you on Sunday when we get the rest of these games going. I'll see you then. As always, have a good one. See you later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.